Hey everyone, Mike here with another look at Prison Architect, specifically a look at the just released Alpha 11 version. Now, this version features a bunch of bug fixes and new features, and is a vast improvement over the last alpha, particularly since there don't seem to be any massive game-breaking bugs in this version. One of the biggest new features is the ability to purchase additional plots of land near your prison, allowing you to expand ever outward in your quest for, well, cash. I mean, after all, it's not like this isn't a for-profit prison. Now, speaking of which, apparently prisoners can be released now, which means you finally have a reason to have a steady influx of prisoners, since your current ones will slowly trickle out as their sentences are up. Be forewarned though, there's a bug, which will be fixed in Alpha 12, that prevents released prisoners from traveling through staff-only areas. Now, if you like to plug up your entrance with the staff-only section to keep them from escaping, you'll want to either turn that off altogether or periodically turn it off to allow released prisoners to scurry on home to their loved ones. Now, the laundry bug that I groaned over a lot in my last look has been mitigated thanks to dirty laundry no longer being a trigger for prison riots. Now, the laundry room is still terribly bugged, and anyone assigned to it will more than likely than not just stand around instead of actually doing anything, but at least the laundry workers in action won't cause all of your prisoners to riot anymore. Now, another interesting little feature that I'm not quite sure if it's new or not is adding on to buildings. Now, previously, when I tried to add a foundation onto a building, it just didn't work. Expanding buildings had to be done through a fairly cumbersome process that got tiring very quickly. You had to tear down walls and rebuild them, rebuild flooring, and all this nonsense. Now, though, when I started adding onto my prison, if I overlapped a wall in the new foundation with a wall or walls in the present building, the overlapping walls are taken down, and the addition is just joined to the current structure like it was always there. Now, that's a little improvement, but it makes things so much easier. Also new is a fix for the horrific lag that was induced by creating new structures. No longer do you have to leave your game running for hours on end waiting for a large foundation to get finished. Now, there are still some lag issues with both large prisons and with building foundations, but it's nice to see some big improvements in this, and hopefully we'll see some more pretty soon in the future. Now, one thing that I'd like to see changed in Prison Architect is the complaint system from the prisoners. Currently, if you have your regimen set up to where the prisoners are getting barely enough sleep, family time, showering time, and everything else to just meet all their needs, you'll have regular periodic complaint waves that rise and fall based on where you are in the day. For example, in my current prison, every afternoon my prisoners start complaining loudly about not getting enough sleep, and my danger level starts to rise dramatically. Now, this is quickly fixed a few hours later when the prisoners sleep, but then the complaints start again at the same time the next day. What would be nice is if this regularly occurring complaint waves were to equalize after a few days, assuming conditions remain the same, since the prisoners are getting all of their needs met to the fullest, but it's just being done on a schedule that they aren't particularly happy with. I guess this is too much to ask for from this game, but I guess it's worth a shot, and this would definitely add a touch more realism to the prison simulator. Now, here's a final note I'll leave you with before I go concerning power generators. This isn't new by any means, but it's something that took me a while to figure out, and it might be irritating for you if you don't notice it right off the bat. If you end up overloading your power generator, make sure you click on and power up each of the capacitors connected to the generator before you actually power the generator back on. This is because when the generator trips off, it causes all the capacitors to trip off as well. And if you don't turn them on first, then you'll end up just clicking the power button on the generator for several minutes and adding on thousands of dollars worth of unnecessary capacitors before bothering to look up what the problem is on the Prison Architect wiki and wanting to smack your forehead on your desk. Not that I would know this personally or anything. I'm Mike, this is Game Night with Mike. Thanks for watching. I'll be back again next month with more Prison Architect once Alpha 12 is released.